What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcasting News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also host the only online broadcast in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And through that partnership in the year 2021, which we're still in, but we're winding down here, I've been able to reach out directly or indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. And I'm very blessed in regards to that. And as always, I say, whether you're watching live or on the replay or listening live or on the replay, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And another, well, not a new friend to me, but probably a new friend to all of you. We have another new friend coming on the platform today. Let's talk about it. Fresh and Famous is a house of brands and services organization. Their mission is to empower youth and adults alike to live a fresh and famous lifestyle in any way possible. This is through products, services, and affiliate marketing. The founder, CEO, Dwayne Wright, is a well-known community member here in Toronto, hailing from the Jane and Finch area of Toronto. Actually, that's interesting because a few weeks ago on another one of the conversations I host, Black Canada Talking, there's a gentleman named Steve Anderson, who's deputy mayor of Shelburne, Ontario. That's where he grew up. So let's get back to the bio here. Known best as Mr. Fresh, his determination and grit gives him a Midas touch to ventures he is interested in. He started door to door and he's become so much more. So let's welcome for the first time and not the last time on the Dr. Vibe stage. Here he is, Mr. Fresh and Famous. What's going on?
Amazing. Great to have you. Great to be on the show, Dr. Vibe. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, the pleasure is mine. Actually, we have not seen each other for a while. I think the last time we saw each other was at a place in, was it Ajax or Whitby? It was a,
Ajax.
It was an Ajax. It was what's it like at least 2 years ago.
Yes.
Absolutely. So how you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I actually just published my new book, Getting Fresh. And it's going great. It's a really a good chance. It's just an amazing experience becoming an author and being able to put out fresh and famous products. And it's amazing. This experience, this book, this has been my most recent product that I put out, and it's been going really good.
Great. Now, let me ask, before we go into that, your microphone is, it's not clear. I don't know. It may be better if you use another, because it's almost like you're chatting through some glass. Your audio could be clearer.
Okay, audio could be clear. Okay, let me see if I can fix that.
How about now?
That's better. That's much better.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's much better. Fantastic. Thank you.
Yes.
Great.
So, yes.
Yeah, I just want to make the best experience. We want to showcase you as best we can on the platform. So that's a lot better. So great. I'm glad you're doing well today. I'm glad. So talk about the book again. Put it up for us so we can properly hear you and see you when you present it.
So my name is Dwayne Wright, also known as Mr. Fresh, trademarked and branded as well. Jane Fresh is a book that was written as a part of my journey in regards to my career. It was something that was a part of healing. It was something that I felt that was needed to be done. And the book really talks about some of the things that I've overcame, Dr. Vibe, throughout growing up in Jane and Finch community and being able to start a business like this, which is now spanning the globe. And it started from humble beginnings, and this is the reason why I wrote the book, Jane and Fresh, because I was really inspired by what had happened in my life, and I felt that my story can touch lives. and youth as well.
Well, excellent. Both of us are based in the Toronto area, Greater Toronto area, and we know what Jane and Finch is all about, allegedly. But I have a worldwide audience, so can you give them a little bit of a description of the Jane and Finch area and growing up in that area?
Sure. So I grew up in Toronto, Canada, in a single parent household with my mother. And Jane and Finch is a place in Toronto that is more so a poverty-riven environment, a place where low-income people live, and a place where underprivileged, so to say. And Jane and I call Jane and Finch Jane and Fresh because I believe good things can come out of the community, and I believe that there's more success stories to come out of there. It's just a matter of us actually redefining our story and our destiny. So a part of growing up, I would say Jane and Finch would be like us, more so like the American style, like ghettos in like a Canada, to kind of give the viewers a more context on how Jane and Finch, what the reputation, what it ties to, and also how the environment is. So to give you a better description, just like Brooklyn or just like another projects.
Okay, good. Thank you for that description. What was challenging for you growing up in that area, and how did you overcome it?
Well, what was challenging growing up was, from an early age, you're exposed to a lot of things growing up in the city of Toronto. And one of the things that really, what I realized very young was that we didn't really know better when we were growing up. And you don't really have a direction of someone to actually showcase to you what is actually going on. And definitely, as smart as I am now, I didn't know the things that I did when I was a kid. And a part of that really ties back to really understanding the dynamics of recidivism. Recidivism is something that a lot of youth are facing and challenges with. And in a place like Jane and Finch, recidivism, for those people that don't know what recidivism is, it's a cycle that goes on repeatedly, like a broken record. And it's something that is affecting, especially I find Black Canadians, and a lot of youth are faced with this challenge of recidivism. And growing up, I was exposed to a lot of issues that maybe the government didn't fix, and I would say that it was challenging, very challenging, growing up.
Okay, what kept you going?
What kept me going was, to tell you the truth, what kept me going was in 2010, there was a I&I award given by the City of Toronto for Youth Entrepreneurship of the Year. And really go in and continue with my business was being acknowledged by the City of Toronto for the entrepreneurship work that I was doing in the community. That really propelled me to keep continuing and to feel like the work that I was doing was not in vain. It was definitely an experience that, this allowed me to feel appreciated and at the same time be recognized for the work that I was doing in the community. And it was a big self-esteem boost, I would say.
Okay, so we jumped ahead a little bit, so I want to go cycle back. How did growing up in Jane and Finch, did you have people that supported you and helped you along the way at your young age?
Yes.
Could you share some of those people with us?
Sure. So some of the people that have helped me along the way were people like Warren Salmon, Winston LaRose from JFCCO. We had people like, who else? We have Warren Salmon, Ricky Nichols, I've had even Michael Lee Chin that has given me a picture, an endorsement as well with my products. That was a really big accomplishment. And I would say this the community in general, this my customers, they actually would buy this product here that you see today now. And this is actually what started me out with actually becoming Fresh and Famous.
All right. So let's cycle back a bit. You and I know some of those people, the people you mentioned, but my audience may not. So can you just give a little background on Warren Salmon, Winston LaRose, Michael Lee Chin, just so my audience has some identification on who these other that just they're more than just names.
Yes. So Warren Salmon is a founder of First Fridays, an event Black professional space that puts on an event for the urban professionals that are looking to scale their companies and to do more with their companies in the city of the GTA of Toronto. And Winston LaRose, he actually ran for city councilor for Jane and Finch, and he actually is classified and branded as Mr. Jane and Finch now. So it goes right in hand with my book as well. And one of the things that I took from Winston LaRose was like a community father to a lot of us growing up in the area. And I remember when I told Winston LaRose that I wanted to write a book at 18, he supported me with that. And he said to me that it was a great idea. And at that time, I didn't really know what was going on, like how to figure it all out. But, you know, along the way, things became more clear and much more crystal clear in terms of that vision of what Fresh and Famous was going to become.
Okay. And Michael Lee Chin, for those who don't know who that is.
And Michael Lee Chin, he's a Jamaican billionaire in Canada. And he's the owner of NCB Bank. And he is actually the owner and founder and chairman of Mandeville. And a little story about that is that at 18, I went through a City Leaders program. It's with the University of Toronto and United Way and Youth Challenge Fund. And when I was younger, I used to actually call Mike Lee Chin's office to actually try to see if he could get to mentor me. One of the cool things about it, I'll talk about persistence in this video, because really and truly, it is about persistence in anything you do. And, you know, when I was younger, one of the things that I had was not knowing no limits. And I think one of the things that, you know, as a Black Canadian, I can say is that I never allowed that being Black or something like that to hold my success back, right? So, one of the key people that I looked up to in my entrepreneurial journey that I stumbled across first was Michael Lee Chin and Farrah Gray. Farrah Gray was a millionaire by the age of 14 years old, and Michael Lee Chin, being one of the first Black Jamaican billionaires in Canada, was a huge inspiration to me as a child growing up, because I saw that as an avenue, because at the playing field, Dr. Vibe, for a lot of these supply chain sector companies are in the $1 billion bracket. And when Fresh and Famous was born, it was entering a space where the air freshener industry today is worth $230 billion. And that's a global market, right? So in North America. So one of the things that I would say in regards to Michael Lee Chin is that at an early age, seeds was planted by doing research on him, learning about what he talks about in regards to wealth creation, how the wealthy invest differently, and understanding that we can be financially free by owning a business, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I just want to add, where did you get your start? Who influenced you to become an entrepreneur? Or was that something you just adopted on your own?
Well, definitely. My first entrepreneurialistic business was actually lawnmowing someone's grass,
Okay.
doing landscaping, and then I sold chocolates as well. So when I was a kid, out of grade school, I wanted lunch money for my for money for going to school and playing video games at the arcade and stuff like that. And I remember how tough it was for my mother, where I had to get creative and ways and find ways to actually be able to raise money and have money for school money, right? So one of the things that I started to do early on was I learned about sales. And the first job that I had was called the Student Employment Program. And that was a job where I was making actively anywhere from $100 to $30 a day. And that was my first start in entrepreneurship. And, you know, by the time I was 13, green-based, eco-friendly, sustainable deodorizer, which was an eco-friendly based air freshener, which is now branded into a more elevated product, which has magnesium in it now. But definitely, to answer that question of how I got my start, really was just asking my parents if you can invest into me and, you know, try to get them to give me a start. I started my business with $100.
That probably sounds familiar to a few people that are watching this live or on the replay. So you start with $100 and a dream.
$100 in a dream. And that $100, I had to turn that $100 into more money because I had to register my company and then incorporate my company, Fresh and Famous. So, of course, I've invested a lot more money than that in Fresh and Famous altogether. But in the beginning, in the early stages of starting the company, I had to go door to door, and I actually had to sell this product to random strangers, right? That's actually how I started the business.
Wow. So when you started, why this type of product? Did you have any other products you were considering? And why did you land on the Fresh and Famous product line?
So the reason why this product is because I was working in the industry of learning about cosmetics and supply chain. And I stumbled across an opportunity where I was given an opportunity to basically formulate my own products. And how that happened, it was actually through networking with the right person at the right time. And the rest is history. Today, I could say that we are now in the process of we have our own manufacturing facility. Yes, our own manufacturing facility where we're able to do 30,000 units per day. And we are actually in a position now where we can scale to sell to Walmart, Costco, Shoppers Drug Mart, and these stores that are in the marketplace, like that are everywhere that we shop today, right? So one of the things that really stood out to me with the company is that, you know, we especially as Black people, we don't see a lot of supply chain brands that are owned by Black-owned businesses on the shelf, right? So that was an inspiration for me growing up when I was a kid, because as an inventor and as an entrepreneur, more an inventor mindset as well, I really wanted to see something different in the marketplace. But going for a step further than that, one of the reasons why I started Fresh and Famous was because I was just tired of using chemicals. That's the truth. Yeah, I was just tired of using chemicals. I actually became so equipped, I actually became so educated in the field of supply chain that I started to know what the ingredients were in all the products that were on the shelf. And most of the products on the shelf today are chemicalized and saturated with chemicals that are harmful to the body. So Fresh and Famous is a fresher alternative to products like Febreze, and, you know, it's a product that actually helps with eliminating odors without chemical residue. And our competitors are big names, but we believe that we could actually be a leader in the aromatic space.
Nice. And the name, I understand the fresh part, but the famous, where did that come in?
So when I was younger, actually, I'll just say this: famous came in when the reputation for the products of the air fresheners that we have, they became fresh and famous from the fans and from the company and from the customers. That I just felt right when I rebranded and changed the name to Fresh and Famous. It was just the audience. It was just the people, the energy of the people that were given back, and it really was selling this product here and becoming famous for doing it.
Yeah,
and really selling the product, becoming famous for doing it, and being able to actually connect with the customers. It became bigger than me, if that makes sense.
sure.
And it actually allowed me to, it saved my life. Like this product saved my life.
How so?
Because Dr. Vibe, without this product, when I was a kid growing up in Jane and Finch, instead of selling drugs and selling things that I was not supposed to be selling, I sold air freshener. And that right there is probably the biggest story that I can say about this, because it took a strong mind to be a leader. It took a strong mind to not get caught up, into what everybody else was doing in the area. And, when you're hungry and you don't have any food, people get desperate, right? The thing is, for me, my solution was solving my problem with selling a green-based air freshener, which was this product. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I would fill up my duffel bag, and I would go to the malls, and I would sell at the malls, at Your Gate Mall, Jade & Finch Mall, Sheridan Mall. And, it became like a village supporting a brand that was actually representing the community. So not only did I do that, Dr. Vibe, but I partnered with non-profit organizations with my product. I started to help with greening the environment of Jane and Finch, planting trees and sustainability through the Green Change Project. And we reduced the Jane and Finch carbon footprint by 2,000 tons, which was done with Majora Carter. Also speaks about green in the ghetto in the Bronx. Spoke to us about how you shouldn't have to go to another community to live in a better one. And that's a true statement. I believe that, it is our duty, and not only that, but it's also politicians and people in positions of power to actually be able to fresh up the community and make Jane and Fresh. Because the reason why I say that, Dr. Vibe, is that the community is so ready to be revitalized, if that makes sense. And it's a matter of us being able to hold people in positions of power to make those changes happen. My solution and my story is really just a young man from Jane and Finch who had a vision greater than beyond his circumstance, and was able to use this product as a way out.
You know what? I appreciate your passion. Where did you get and it's so important, especially with a product, that you've got to be the greatest endorser of the product. You've got to be the support behind the product. So it seems right from day one that you really supported the product. Can you go back to the early days of Fresh and Famous? Like you were saying, you were going to malls.
Yes.
Can you share some of those experiences?
Sure. So I went to a lot of like I every day after school I would actually go to Sheridan Mall because it was one of the biggest malls in Toronto. It was really a good place to sell, and also I would sell at Jaden Finch Mall. I would sell at Your Game Mall, and I would just actually go in the parking lot and I would actually sell to customers. That's how I started my.
How old were you back then?
I was 13.
Oh
13.
my goodness! What?
Yes.
13.
Yes. And I did that all the way up to 18 till I finally got recognized by the City of Toronto for Youth Entrepreneur of the Year in 2010.
So let's go back. You've got this product, 13 years old. Like, who manufactured it? How did you get the supply chain going and all that stuff? Because most people 2-3 times your age can't figure that stuff out. What did you do to make it happen?
Well, I actually had a mentor in the space of supply chain. And what happened is that at the time, he was my business partner at the time. And
how old were you? How old was he? Because you're 13. How old was your business partner?
A lot older than me. How
did that happen? How did it happen, man?
Well, it happened one day in the hallway, actually. Okay. It actually happened one day where somebody came to basically I saw an opportunity. I saw the person doing something. And basically, they had a product, but it wasn't the product that it is now, right?
Right.
So, in the beginning, Fresh and Famous was not like this.
Okay.
Right. It actually started when I first started the business. I didn't even own my own company. I'm going to talk to you guys about something. Right. And eventually, as time went on, I became more wiser, more educated, more understanding about intellectual property, registration, and things like that. But Dr. Vibe, to make a long story short with that situation, was I was given an opportunity, and then I basically had to make it from there, if that makes sense.
Sure. Wow. So 5 years from 13 to 18. Again, what kept you going? Like, you're a young man at those days, and like you got this product, and I'm sure a lot of people pushed you away and never bought. But what kept you going?
Well, at 18 is when I made my first $10,000 at 18, and what kept me going actually was my mother, my family, the people that were my friends, my supporters, and I think, Dr. Vibe, when you don't have a choice and you're trying to survive in the midst of survival, you just do what you got to do, and that's really the story. It's like, I did not know that selling air freshener out of a duffel bag was going to turn to Fresh and Famous today, door to door. I did not know that. Now fast forward today, our approach of how we sell is all on online, e-commerce, social media, technology. Everything has changed. But in regards to how the company started, it was pure organic sales. Every single day, I would sell this product like gold. That's how much I would sell this product. It was a product that became a part of a tradition for Jaden Finch. It was like this. If somebody saw me selling this product, they would buy it. Not only would they buy it, if they didn't have it, their neighbor had it. That's how much people had it.
Wonderful. I want to ask, you've mentioned this person a few times in our conversation. I think we have to give her proper credit and due and hailing, as we say from where I'm from. What has your mother meant to you as a Black businessman? And what has your mother meant to you as a Black man?
a good question. My mother represents a strong woman, and I'll be honest, and I'll say certain things as well in the interview that we've been so conditioned and so beaten. Sometimes the mind has been something that could be damaged in a sense, right? From events in our life and so forth, right? So my mother, she's my inspiration, but also she's still healing as well. And she's someone that, yes, I maybe is very successful and all these things. The only thing I can do as a good son is try to guide her in the right direction, best way possible. And so far, what I've done in that regards is my I one time I told my mom, I said to her, "Mom, you don't have to pay the lottery because I'm going to be your lottery ticket one day."
I like that. So I'll save the question to the end because I was gonna ask it now, but I'm gonna save it to it's in regards to your mother, but I'll save it to the end. When you made your first $10,000, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel great. It was good, but there's also a lot of people that when you have money that try to take your money, first of all, right? And I remember being young and I made investments, some investments that were good, some investments that were bad. And, one piece of advice, and I'm being transparent on the show so somebody can learn, is, the best thing you could do in life is build your credit, focus on paying your bills on time, of course, and, build your business, And I think making that first $10,000 propelled me in a position to make a lot more money as well in the future with my company. It was a very rewarding experience because at that time, doing a legit business, doing something that was from the heart, from the passion and everything as well. I think it really prepared me to be who I am today. Definitely today I can say that I wear many different hats. As an author, as someone that's an investor as well, and an investor. But most importantly, nothing more satisfying than being the president of this company, Fresh and Famous. It's been a very good, rewarding experience.
Nice, fantastic. We're gonna take a moment here. We're gonna actually find out. Actually, we'll do it right now. What are some of the products that the brand offers?
Say again?
What are some of the products
that the brand offers?
That the brand offers.
Okay, so we offer cologne, perfume. We offer fashion products, accessories, such as knapsacks. We offer deodorizers that are magnesium infused. This product that is magnesium infused is actually patent pending. It's actually a product that's not has never been done before in this type of aromatic space. We are the first company to do this. And magnesium actually helps with asthma when you infuse it through the lungs. This is a health benefit now added to our air freshener that is called an all-natural deodorizer. You can use this product anywhere. People spray this product on their clothes. It doesn't harm them. It's a product that can be sprayed in the air. Also helps with building, for people that are magnesium deficient. It helps with making the room and helps people with health wise as well. So basically, people that have mental health, that have a lack of magnesium, this is actually a product that you can get a magnesium intake into your day.
What sort of process is behind launching a product? Because you had your original, what sort of research and development goes on before you actually launch a product in your in your product line or of your product line?
I also forgot to say one more thing. We also have hand sanitizer, but I'll answer your question now as well.
Sure.
So the process of branding any product and getting a product to market, this is what I became a master at. The key thing to getting a product on the market is to have your own private brand, right? So now, in order to be like Amazon, like to make an income from the internet, which is what a lot of people want to know, you have to have your own brand. You have to have a brand that resonates with people, right? And I would say branding and marketing is half the battle. Once you have those two things down, then the next step is going to be to focus on your inventory, if you have an inventory-based business, or just your sales altogether, right? So to get a product to market, it's really about doing your research. It's really about doing your research. What industry do you want to enter? What product do you want to make? Is it a hair product? Is it skincare? Whatever it is, right? For us at Fresh and Famous, what makes us very unique is that we want to be a lifestyle brand. So, for example, when you hear like Burberry or you hear Louis Vuitton or you hear OVO, one of the things that we resonate with at our company is that we believe that our brand is a lifestyle, and we haven't even hit our peak yet. Okay. We are at a point where we want to make the experience for the customer the best experience ever that they've ever had in the aromatic space. And we also want to make sure that the quality of the ingredients are up to par. That means sustainable ingredients that are not going to be hazardous and chemicalized and watered down with chemicals that are hurting consumers.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. That is excellent. Let me ask you, how has the last 16 to 18 months impacted your business? So what I'm supposed to ask is, how has the pandemic impacted your business?
Okay, great question. Our business has actually pivoted. We've actually increased our reach. Right now we are in the process of closing a deal with Shark Tank in the US, and potentially getting the product into media outline channels such as BDT and much more.
Okay, so let's cycle back here. So I again, you're probably limited in what you can say about this. So can you give any more details in regards to the potential collaboration with Shark Tank?
Yes, I can. So currently right now we have a celebrity endorsement from Kevin Harrington.
Oh, yes.
One of the first ABC sharks to be approached.
Yes.
And he is currently interested in working with us with a marketing campaign with Fresh and Famous products through infomercial and through major platforms on television.
How did that come about? Who initiated that?
So definitely they heard about our company, they scouted our company, they found out about us.
Okay, I'm going to dig deeper on this. How did they hear about you? Did you find out how they heard about? Because Kevin Harrington, he's no longer on Shark Tank, but he's still a major player when it comes to retailing and product development. So where did they hear about you from? If you did ask them that, I'd love to know.
Yeah, I asked them that, but they said that something was Fresh and Famous was brought to their attention.
Okay.
Through, I guess, a third party, someone that was in that circle. Yes.
Okay. And when you heard about when they first approached you, what was your initial reaction? Did you know who he was?
I knew who he was, but I was shocked. I was taken aback because what I want to do with Fresh and Famous, people have not even seen yet. Basically, where I see this company going is into the bath and beauty space. We want to have shower gels in the future. We want to actually brand bath and beauty and just health and beauty altogether in a way that hasn't been done before. And seeing someone like Kevin Harrington, who's so successful, in a way where he has come on board, is really going to help the company a lot, because these people have the connections, the networks, and connection to even brick and mortar that I don't have as well, right? So definitely, I would say it's an ecstatic feeling, especially being a new author as well. And Kevin Harrington actually was very respectful to the fact of my background, of where I came from. It was just a humbling experience altogether because of all that. So definitely, I'm excited and very much so looking forward to seeing where the company goes and how far we are able to take this company.
Oh, congratulations on that potential partnership with Mr. Harrington. And speaking, that will happen, and we can at least say we knew you when.
On Dr. Vibe.
No, long before me, young man. Long before me. But hey, if you can have Kevin come on here, I ain't gonna say no. You know what I'm saying?
Or even Dave and John, right?
And any one of them would love to have that. Love to have them on. Let me ask. You've talked about the book a few times during our conversation, so let's spend a little bit of time on the book. What made you want to write a book?
Well, what made me want to write a book was just my experience. I grew up in foster care as well. And I think for me, like growing up, it was really difficult, as I said before, in regards to the interview. It's just the life, like, almost being at a point where, at my lowest point, where going from almost dying or being in an environment where you could die, where gang violence is a fact, where youth are losing their life. Like, for example, Dr. Vibe, Jordan Manners was somebody that I knew as a kid. And, speaking about Jordan Manners, he barely got a chance to live his life. Mm-hmm. Right? So the thing what I'm trying to say is that this gun violence thing is a very big problem in the city of Toronto. And the only way it's going to get better is if we start to do something about it through a community perspective. That means community mediation, community healing, healing circles, things like that. And for me, my healing was, writing this book, putting my knowledge of how to create a business, how to create a product, how to take your business from 0 to 1 million is in this book. The do's and don'ts is in this book, meaning what I went through, my experience, my career, adversities, the things that took me years to learn, it's written in this book.
Right. How, from the time, and I ask this question a lot, especially from book authors or creators, when they have an idea that becomes reality, how long of a time was it from the time you said, okay, I'm going to write a book, till when it came out? How long a period of time was that?
Okay, so when Jade and Fresh came out, it took me about 2 years to write this book, Jade and Fresh.
Okay.
2 years. From the time that I wanted to write a book when I was a kid, I always had the dream to write a book, but I didn't know how to write a book. That was the hard part. Writing a book, attempting to write it, now I could probably write another book, but one of the things that I would say is that it's a process. Book writing is actually not that hard. It's actually a matter of having a good editor, a good story, and make sure that when you're writing your book, that you think about your fans that you want to reach, the people that you want to reach. So this book is written like a self-help book. At the back of it, I will show you some pictures in here. Let's see if I can do that. So we have some pictures right here.
Yep.
And then we have some famous faces there.
Okay.
So Writing a book is a process that I would say is a rewarding process, because having a book is better than having a business card. That I'll tell you as well, because people are going to remember you by your story. Why should they buy from you, right? And for me, I understood writing this book was going to be a huge changing point in my career. And the reason why I wanted to write it is because for anybody that didn't know my story, or didn't know my upbringing, or didn't know what Fresh and Famous was all about, we thought it was a cool idea to actually write this book, Jane and Fresh, to give people a fresh perspective that doesn't matter where you're from, what walk of life, you can make it, right? And that means that anybody has the opportunity to change their life, right? So this is the reason why Jane and Fresh was written. And it was written to actually address recidivism. It was written to address issues that are basically plaguing the city. Things that people that would like to learn about what it was like growing up in Jane and Finch, and what it would be for experience, what that experience may have been like.
Nice. What was it like when you held the first copy of your book?
Okay, so it was a great experience. Actually, that experience was like no other. I felt like finally, like I'm an author. It felt really good to be a businessman, and to have a book on top of that really opens a lot of doors. I would say that it was probably the most rewarding experience I've ever felt in my life, because for once my pain was out. Like all of the pain that I incurred over the years through my hardships in entrepreneurship was now put on paper. So I get into a lot of detail about family in here. I talk about, a lot of stuff that's in my personal life in this book. And I give you the raw information that you need to get your business to the next level.
Great. Would you say writing the book was therapeutic for you?
It was definitely therapeutic, because, getting this message out there in the story, Dr. Vibe, I don't know if there's going to be a movie on this book one day, but what I would say is that it really paints a picture, because I just want to just actually say one part of it to you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So it's on any given night, day or night, you can hear the wail of police and ambulance signs whistling through the intersection of my hood. My address was 10 Santa away, and I lived on the 19th floor of an apartment building in a complex called Palisades in the heart of Jane and Finch in Toronto, a place that was known for its bad reputation and hitters that would kill you in broad daylight. This is the parts. It gets into a detailed culture of the book, where it talks about how the kids would that the culture of Jane and Finch altogether, right? So I think for me, writing this book was so therapeutic. I also dedicated it to Charles Roach and Dudley Laws as well.
Tell our audience who they are.
So Charles Roach and Dudley Laws are two people that fought for freedom rights in the Black activist space. And they are people that stood for equality and freedom. Two heroes that I put into the book, because I felt that this image on the book was so powerful that I had to pay it forward to my ancestors and the roots. And I think that anybody that knows Charles or Dudley Laws, they understand what we're all fighting for as a community. And I think that, what we want to see in the world is just peace. We just want to see a better change. And, at the end of the day, this is one of the things I will say to you, Dr. Vibe, is that we're all building a legacy. You know, if I could say a message in this interview, is what is your legacy? What is it that you're going to build, and what is it that people are going to remember you for? So the question is this: don't just live, but live to be remembered, because we're all here on a journey. But what is that journey that we're on? So, for example, when we're living that journey, what is that legacy that you're leaving for your kids, your children, your grandchildren, and your imprint in the world? So even after we pass away and all these things, we are able to have a footprint that we have left in the earth. That's my my message.
Nice. Fantastic. That is great. What is next for Fresh and Famous?
What's next for Fresh and Famous is distribution all over the world, global product, Europe, America, Jamaica. Expect to see us in your household.
Where is it available now outside of Canada, if it is available outside of Canada?
It's available in America and also in Europe.
Very nice. And again, how much work did it take to get those distribution deals? Man, that's a lot of work.
Yes. Took a lot of work. Dr. Vibe, like people say they want success, but to get to be successful, you have to do a lot of crazy things. I say it in my book. There's a part in here about succeeding, and I'll read this part as well if I can. Let me see if I could find there's a part that says seize every opportunity. This is a very good part. In life, you must seize every opportunity. As a businessman, I quickly learned that sometimes, as Eminem says, you only get one chance to blow, and you simply must lose yourself in the moment. Writing this book took commitment, but it also was an opportunity to grow, to document the story of my journey and share it with the world. All the suffering and pain doesn't mean nothing until you document it. This way, others can learn from your experience. And it talks about one day I met Allen Iverson, Tiana Taylor, Sway from Sway in the Morning. And it talks about how I introduced myself to them, and then they were able to take a picture with me and so forth. It talks about always having a business card, always being prepared, and executing what it is that you want to execute in life. I'll read one more part to you. It's about succeeding. It's right here. And it has Nav Bhatia, the super fan, as well.
Yeah, he just had a documentary on the CBC about him.
Yes. So it just says, basically, it's a well-written book, Dr. Vibe. It really gets into detail about what it takes to succeed. It deals a lot with the mindset. Psychologically, there's a lot of things that have to be shifted to be successful. And that means unlearning what is not working for anybody's life, any individual's life. And succeeding it's like an art, right? It's a formula, right? When I hear a lot of successful people talk, like even Michael Lee Chin, people that have done it before, the main philosophy behind that is that there's principles to success and wealth. So those principles is what I actually condensed in this book of my principles of how I actually did it. And I share with the world how to do it as well. So succeeding says, I was becoming fresh and famous and starting to become known internationally for what I was doing. The time came for me to take my company to the next level by putting my product in the stores everywhere and making it accessible online and worldwide through my website. So the first step that I would say, another gem on the interview, is the way how everybody can be global today, internet. If you think about countless millionaires that were made, such as Mark Cuban, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, the internet is a very, very great tool and resource.
All right. Fantastic. That is good. Well, I know you are always on the go, and we always appreciate people like yourself coming in and sharing your evaluated experience, your wisdom. We're going to just put up the website for those who are watching this live or watching it on the replay, so you can take a look and you can go to the website yourself and buy stuff, buy his book, buy the products, so you can enjoy the fresh and famous experience. You know, this is really key that we support. Yeah, there he's got. So in one part of the screen, you've got the website with the door. The other part, he's holding his book. So he is equipped. He's equipped to move forward. Let me ask Dwayne, how important is it for you to give back?
Very important. The reason one day I would like to have a scholarship, hopefully. I've thought of that. I've thought of, maybe a hygiene campaign for somewhere in Africa. I've thought about places that are underprivileged. I think for me, like, one of the things that I want to do to give back is really, once I have brought the company to a level where I'm satisfied enough, is I want to create my own opportunities for youth. So, for example, we have a STARS program called STARS in Fresh and Famous, where people get a chance to make revenue with me with this product. For example, people actually get a chance to be an affiliate marketer, where just by telling a friend, they can actually, and paying a membership fee of $20, they will be able to tap into starting a business just like how I did when I was a kid. So that's my way of giving back. And it's been very effective because we have been able to get people in the STARS distribution program, and people's life are changing just because of it. We have a national sales account manager in the US out of Las Vegas, and his name is Crandell. And Crandell is tearing the business up. He's doing a great job. And, we believe that we could create millionaires in our company, and that's what I want to do.
Before you leave, any tips or call to action you have for people who want to become an entrepreneur? Because you started at a very young age. You've earned a chops. You're still earning your chops. Any words of wisdom or calls to action or things you'd like to share for those Black individuals who want to become an entrepreneur?
Okay, so my advice to anyone that wants to be an entrepreneur is to buy a notebook from the dollar store. Get yourself a pen as well, and write down your idea, exactly what you want to do, and then put it into a business plan. Do your research, even a business model canvas. Start reading some entrepreneurship books like Robert Kiyosaki, learn about passive income, learn about investing. Also learn about stocks if you want to be a business owner as well, because you could also invest into another business on the stock market that could instantly make you a business owner. I would say also take risks. I think a lot of times we as human beings, sometimes we're afraid to take that step. Nothing is always guaranteed. We all saw that with the pandemic, where it's become pretty much a mandatory thing that we start to use our mind. And if we can use our mind, you can acquire as much wealth as you ever wanted to in your life. It's just a matter of you using the mind, which does not cost you anything to use. Right? So the mind is a great tool and resource. And I think that our time is another thing, that the more that you are able to understand getting things done, get into that mindset of getting things done. If you can get into that mindset of getting things done, you will be a great, successful business person, a lot of success. So my advice to anybody that wants to start a business is find out what you're signing up for, and make sure that you stay committed to the end, because a lot of people that start businesses, they'll start a business and then they'll quit, or they may not have the resilience, right, Dr. Vibe? So what I would say is that, to kind of simplify it a bit more is everyone that wants to start a business, my advice to you is to have faith and to dream big, because anything can happen, especially if you have a business and you can create what is it that you would like to see in the world. My advice is that if you see a problem in the world that you want to fix, my advice is to fix it being entrepreneurialistic. That's my advice to anybody that wants to start a business.
I think a lot of good points there shared by Dwayne. And I'll just add on to that. Be a problem solver. People want people to solve their problems. Very important. Dream big, have faith, be a risk taker, because realize our brains don't want us to take risks. They neurologically proven that they don't want, your brain doesn't want you to take a risk. And one other thing I will add on to that too for entrepreneurs, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's one of the biggest things that's setting back a lot of entrepreneurs. They don't know how to do something, and for whatever reason, they're too afraid to ask for help. And that one asking for help can move you forward light years. So, Dwayne, I want to thank you for taking time out of your positive, productive schedule to be on the Dr. Vibe show today. Outstanding conversation, and really look forward to keeping in touch with you. And you have a home here anytime you want to announce any new things that are coming up with you personally or professionally. You do have a home here. For those who are watching live on the replay, the website address, and if you're listening live or on the replay, it's www.freshandfamous.com. All things Fresh and Famous are at that website address. Dwayne, there you go, showing his stuff. He's got his product. He's speaking it, and it works, folks. I've tried it. It works. So
thank you, Dr. Blair.
My pleasure. God bless. Peace. Well, keep the faith and walk good. We'll chat with you soon.
Keep it fresh.
All right. Epic conversation there. Really, really enjoyed. And as I said, we haven't seen each other for about 2.5 years. You reached out to me a week or two ago, and I finally was able to nail him down to stay still for a few seconds. And as you can tell, I'm sure you just gave us a little bit of all the things that he has going on out there. So it's appreciated, not taken for granted. I'm Dr. Vibe, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And I'd like to say thank you for everyone for all your support. Few things. If you want to keep up to date with Dr. Vibe and all the epic conversations that I host, please subscribe to the YouTube channel or subscribe to the Facebook channel. But I prefer the YouTube channel I think that's just a little bit better. And so you get notified on all the upcoming conversations, all the epic conversations that we're having here. If you want to get in touch with me, the best place is my website address, thedrvibeshow.com. That's where you can watch replays of epic conversations. All my contact information is there. If you want to be on the show, it's there. If you want to follow me on social media, Twitter, it's at drvibeshow. Instagram, the drvibeshow, and also Facebook, the drvibeshow. Love to say thank you, everyone, today for your support. And we always end off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. God bless. Peace to you all. Keep the faith and walk good. See you soon.